Hi, I'm Mike Thompson. In this video, we're going to replace this old faucet. As you can see here, the handles don't match, and this one doesn't even have a handle that stays in. So let me show you how we do it. First, turn off the water. Get some of the small hands to help you if you can. Test to make sure it's in fact off. And as you can see, the cold is off, as is the hot. Excellent. Now we can start to remove the faucet. I use this wrench to loosen the connections here up top. Now I could have loosened them down low where the actual shutoff valve is, but I wanted to minimize the number of connections I would have to make and disconnect, so I'm doing it way up here. It would certainly be easier for you to do it down low. Make sure you've got a drip pan underneath to catch the drips, because there will be some. Then I loosen this nut on each side, and then the faucet will come off. Your nuts that hold your faucet on may be a little bit different. There will be some nut of some kind that will hold the faucet on. So remove that. Make sure to have the drip pan for the other side as well. Then this little perforated strap for the plunger has to come off so that I can slip that out. I also have a video on how to clean out a drain stopper and remove that. And pull the old faucet out. Oh my goodness. Yuck. Well, Alex and I are going to get that as clean as we can. Looking pretty good so far. We're going to replace it with this peerless faucet that I actually got at Walmart. I'm not going to replace the stopper or the tailpiece because this faucet replacement is just a stopgap measure until we redo the entire bathroom. I'm going to put these nuts on loose, and then I've got to bend these copper tubes so that they fit down through the two side holes here in the sink. Kind of like so. Now you see I didn't bend them quite enough. These have to make the turn up inside the base of the faucet. This gasket here goes in between the faucet and the sink, and there's a little ridge right there that goes up inside, and that little ridge keeps the gasket centered here on the base of the faucet. So now I got to continue to bend these copper tubes so that it will fit down in there, because you can see there it doesn't sit quite flush. So I'll bend them a little bit tighter to get it to sit right. Pull it back out here. Be careful, of course, not to kink the copper, but I've done copper enough times where it's really not that hard to bend. You just got to coax it just a little bit, kind of like so. And then there's actually some special washers that have a gap in them for this copper tube. And so they sit right along these two bolts like so. I'll put the gasket back on, make sure it's flipped the right way. Stick it up in there like that. Oh, that's kind of tight now. There we go. And then now it should slip down in there and sit flush with the sink. Of course, I need to make sure to get it centered because my OCD wouldn't have it any other way. There. Now here's those slotted washers I told you about. Now, of course, your faucet may have some different type of connection, but generally you're going to be twisting something to tighten something. So, cold side is done, and finish it off with a little wrench here. I didn't do it very tight because I don't want to, crack anything or break anything. Just tight enough so the faucet doesn't wiggle, of course. Then once that's done, I can reconnect my lines. Hand tight first, then get it a little tighter with a wrench, then put a second wrench up on the brass fitting attached to the copper so that you don't, of course, twist the copper tube off. And then the little plunger handle can go in the back. There it comes, you can see there. And then I'll reattach the perforated strap and get it adjusted right so that the handle, behaves like I think it should. We've got quite a few holes to select from, and this third one from the bottom feels about right. Reattach this little spring clip so it doesn't slip off, and then of course I'll give it a test. And of course it's going to work fine. And pull up, looks good. Yep, that feels about right. We can turn the water back on, very carefully of course, make sure the drip pan or the towel's still there, and go ahead and give it a test. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Mike Thompson, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.